Okay, so we are saying in this session of our revision we are going to focus on bearings. Okay, so ensure that you get ready for bearings. That is our next revision topic. So get prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so from there, after bearings, we are going to focus specifically. We're going to look at geometric progression, because I was requested to teach geometric progression, but I did not have time. So after bearings, I'm going to deliver geometric progression. Okay, so let us now look at 2017 paper 1 GCE, a question on bearings, saying A, B and C are 3 points on level ground. Okay, B is on bearing of 70 degrees from A. Okay, and C is on bearing of what? 130 from B. So the information which is being talked about, it is being illustrated in this particular diagram. Right? So all this information, it is shown in this particular diagram. Then the question is saying, the first question is saying, calculate the bearing of A from B. Calculate the bearing of what? A from B. Then question B is saying, calculate the bearing of B from C. Okay, very good. So let us look at the first question. Let us find the bearing of what? A from B. Okay? So when they say A from B, when they say A from B, A from B simply means we are moving from point B going to point what? Point A. Okay, that's the meaning. When they say A from B, we are simply moving from point B going to point what? Going to point A. Okay? Yes. So in this case, the point where we are starting our movement from, which is B. It's what? It's B. Okay? So we are moving from B going to what? A. So the point where we are starting our movement from, it's B. You come up with an imaginary north, but in our case, at B there is this north. Okay? Already we have got a north at what? At B. So just need to move going to what? Going to A. Okay? Yes, so I think what can help you is ensure that you extend these lines. You try to extend this line because this one is a straight line. Yeah, you have got a straight line. So you can extend this one like this. Okay? Okay? Then now, you are moving from the north of B going to what? Going to A. So let us move. Okay, let us move in this direction, undergoing a clockwise movement. Okay, going to A. So this is the bearing. This amount of what? 10. This is the angle they want. Okay? From the north of B going to what? Going to A. Okay? This is the bearing they want. Now we cannot know this angle minus knowing this angle and this angle. So what we are going to do is we are going to find this angle, as well as this angle. Okay, then we are going to add 130 plus this angle plus this angle. The sum, that is the bearing of what? A from B. So let's say this angle, we don't have this angle. So let's say this angle is, let's say X. We don't have this one, so let's say X. And we also don't have this angle, we do not know this angle. So let's say this angle is Y. So let us find the X and the Y. So we're going first to find angle X. Okay? Now look at angle X. Angle X and 130. These two are supplementary. These are on a straight line. These are on a straight line. And you know that angles formed on a straight line are supplementary, or they add up to what? 180. So out of 180 we have 130. Okay? And we don't have X. Okay? So for us to find X, just say 180 minus 130. That's our X. So let us find X. So it's the X is equal to 108 degrees minus 130. Minus 130 degrees. So it's the X is equal to 180 minus 130 to get 50 degrees. So this one, it's 50. This one is what? It's 50 degrees. Okay? So X is 50 degrees. That's our X. Let us now find angle Y. Angle Y. This angle. Okay? Angle Y. Now in this case, be very, very careful. Be observant pertaining to what? Bearings and angles. You realize this line AN and line BN. These two lines are what? These are parallel. Okay? Let me just write from this side. we're saying you have got two lines. You have got this line. Okay, you have got this line. You also have this other line. Okay, so this one is AN, line AN. Then we also have this one is BN. B, you have got this one is B. This one is what? This one is A. Okay, these two lines are parallel. These two lines are what? Are parallel. Then you have got a transversal line, which is line AB. Line AB is a transversal to these two lines. Okay, this one is a transversal line, and then these two lines are what? Are parallel. Okay, so we know that if you have got two parallel lines plus a transversal line, these right angles add up to 180. They are supplementary. These two angles, they are supplementary. Okay, yes. So meaning, if this is what, let's say this one, these two are this one. Let's say this one is, let's say I will say B. This one is what? This one is A. Okay, when you say A plus B is equal to what? 180. Meaning when you add these two angles, you get what? You get 180. Okay? Then there is also another property which states if you have got two parallel lines like this line and this line are what? Are parallel. Okay? You have got two parallel lines like this. Okay? Then you have got a transversal line like this. Okay, let's say I've got a transversal line like this. So in this case, this is our A, this is our A. Okay? Then this is our what? This is our B. This is our what? B. This is our A. Okay? Yes. So you realize these two, if you have got two parallel lines cutting a transversal line, alternate angles are equal. If you have got two parallel lines cutting a transversal line, so I've got these two parallel lines and you have got this transversal line. This line and this line are parallel. Then this one is a transversal line. Alternate angles are equal. Okay? Alternate angles are equal as well as what? Corresponding angles are equal. But in this case, we're going to focus on alternate angles. So mean this angle and this angle, these two are alternate angles. These two angles are equal. If you have got this line and this line are parallel, then this one is a transversal line. These two angles are called what? Alternate angles. These two are equal. Okay? So in our case, this angle and this angle are what? These angles are equal. So in this case, this is what? This is 70 degrees. This is what? 70 degrees. So if this is 70, this angle as well is what? It's 70 what? 70 degrees. Are you seeing? Okay, so in this case, angle Y is what? Y is 70 degrees. Our Y is what? 70 degrees. This is our Y, which is what? 70 degrees. So these two are what? These two are equal. They are alternate angles. Why? Because these two lines are parallel and this one is a transversal line. Therefore, the alternate angles are going to be what? Are going to be equal. So if this is 70, this one is also what? This one is also 70 degrees. Okay? Yes. So this is 70, this is what? 70. Okay? Now the question is saying find the bearing of F from B. F from B. Bearing of A from what? From B. Bearing of A from what? From B. So we are moving from the north of B, going to what? Going to the line what? The line A. So for us to find this bearing, just add 30 plus X plus Y. So it's a 130, not 30, but 130. 130 plus X plus Y. 130 plus X plus Y. So it's a 130 plus, what is our X? Our X is what? 50. So our X is what? It's 50. Plus, what is our Y? Our Y is what? It's 70. Okay, so it's a 130 plus 70 plus 50. 50 plus 7 to get 120. Okay, 120. So when you add 0 plus 0, get what? 0. Then 2 plus 3, you get what? 5. Then 1 plus 1, you get what? You get 250 degrees. So this is the bearing of what? F from B. The bearing of what? A from what? From B. Okay? Yes. Okay? Alternatively, you can also use this other method. Okay? You can also use alternative this other method for you to find this one. This one. Okay? Yes. You can find this angle. You can find this angle. This angle. You can also find this angle. Then you subtract it from what? 360. Of which you know that, okay, this angle is angle B. This one. Okay? This one is what? Angle what? Angle B. I said these two add up to what? 180. These two add up to what? 180. These two add up to 180. They are allied what? Allied angles. So this plus this is equal to what? So let's say this is angle what? Angle B. Okay? And this is what? Angle A. Okay? So for us to know this angle, which is angle B, this angle B, we're going to say B is equal to 180 minus angle A. Have you seen? Yes, because these two, they add up to 180. So A plus B is equal to 180. Now we want B. So it's a B is equal to 180 minus what is our A? Our A is 70, take note. Okay, it's what? 70, have you seen? Then it's a B is equal to 180 minus 7 to get what? 110. You get what? 110? 110. So this angle is what? This angle is 110. Okay? This angle is what? 110. So alternatively, we can also find the bearing by saying bearing of what? A from B, you can say, since you know that this entire angle is equal to 360. This whole angle, it's what? 360. Okay? So it's a 360 minus, you remove this one, subtract this one to get this bearing. Okay? Minus 110. So 360 degrees minus 110, you get what? 250 degrees. Okay, which is this same angle, right? So this is another method you can find the bearing of what? A from B. So this is our answer. This is our answer. Okay? Now let us look at question B. Question B is saying find the bearing of B from C. B from C. B from C. Bearing of what? B from what? B bearing of B from C. So in this case, B from C, when they say B from C, B from what? B from C, what it means? It means we are moving from C going to what? B. We are moving from point C going to what? Going to B. Okay? So the point where you are starting your movement from, you come up with a north where that point is. So since you are starting from point what? From point C. So where C is, just come up with a what? Come up with an imaginary north. Okay. Where C is, you come up with what? An imaginary what? North. Okay. Now we are moving from what? From C going to what? Going to B. So we need to move in this direction. I'm going to move in this direction. I'm going to say undergoing a clockwise movement from the north of C going to what? Going to B. So let us move. This is the bearing. This is the bearing they want. This is the bearing they want. Okay? This is the angle they want. Okay? This angle. This is the angle they want. Okay? Now we cannot know this angle minus knowing this angle. So what we are going to do is we need to know this angle. We need to know this angle. This angle. This angle I've shaded this shaded angle. Okay? Yes, now you realize for us to know this angle, okay? Look at this. This and this. These are alternate what? These are alternate angles. These two are what? These two are alternate. Okay? Because we have this line and this line are what? These two are parallel. Then you have got a transversal line. So mean these two angles, this angle and this angle are what? Are alternate angles. So if this is 50 degrees, this one becomes what? 50 degrees as well. Okay, you see? So these two are alternate angles. This is 50, and know that alternate angles are equal. Okay? Even this one's going to be at 50. Okay? Now for us to know the bearing of what? B from C, we're moving from the north of C going to what? T, going to B. So this entire angle, how do you find this angle? You just subtract. We know that this entire angle is what? 360. Okay, this angle, this whole angle is what? 360. So out of 360, we're going to subtract this one, which is what? 50. Okay? So it's a bearing now. This is question B. Question B. Bearing of what? B from C. B from C. You just subtract. Just say 360 minus what? Minus 50. You're going to remain with this one, right? Minus what? Minus 50. What do you get? You get 300 and what? 10 degrees as the bearing of what? B from C. Okay? So now let us look at another question on bearings. That is from 2018 paper 1 at GCE. Okay? The question is saying, in the diagram below, a cyclist starts from town W and then cycles on a bearing of 216 to town P. Okay? So this is the 216 they are talking about. Okay? Then she leaves town P and cycles on a bearing of 296 to Z. Okay? Then I've been told to say Z is west of W. So Z, this Z, it's west of what? W. Meaning this one W is on the east, then Z is on the west of W. Okay? It's then I've been told to say the first question is saying calculate the angle PWZ. PWZ, this angle PWZ. This is the angle they want us to find. Okay? So let me use this part in case you want to copy. So our solutions are going to be this side, our solutions. Okay? Now in this case, they want us to find angle PWZ. PWZ, this angle I've shaded, this shaded angle. This is the angle they want. Okay? Now for us to know this angle, since we have been told to say Z is west of W, meaning the angle which is formed is what? It's 90 degrees here at W. The angle is what? 90 degrees. So we have got a 90 degrees at this point. This angle is what? 90 degrees. We have got what? 90 degrees. Have you seen? Yes. So now what we are going to do is, for us to know this angle, we know that if we add this angle 90 degrees plus 216 plus this angle we are seeking for, we need to equate them to what? 360. Okay? So let us now move on. Okay? So for us to know this angle, which is question 8 saying find angle PWZ. So PWZ, when you add PWZ plus this angle which is 90 degrees plus 90 degrees plus this angle which is what? 216. Okay? You should equate them to what? To 360 degrees. Okay? You see? Angle formed at the point is what? 360. Okay? This angle 90 degrees plus 216 plus this angle we're being told to calculate. Equate them to what? To 360. Then you find angle PWZ. So it's a PWZ, okay, plus, let us add these two. So it's a 0 plus 6, you get what? Get 6. Then 9 plus 1, get what? You get 10. So write 0, then carry forward the what? 1. So you're going to get 306 is equal to what? 360 degrees. Then you say PWZ is equal to 360 minus, because when transpose this on the other side, going to be what? Minus 306. Have you seen? Then you say WZ is equal to 360 degrees minus 306. So when you subtract, what do you get? 0 minus 6, you get what? Can't. So you get 1 from what? From 6, you're going to remain with 5. Then when you put 1, you're going to have a 10. 10 minus 6, you get what? You get 4. Then 5 minus 0, get what? You get 5. So the answer is what? 54 degrees. So this angle is what? 54 degrees. So we've answered the first question, which is seeking for us to calculate the angle PWZ. So PWZ is what? 54 degrees. Now, let us answer question B. Question B is saying calculate WPZ. WPZ, this angle, WPZ. So they want this entire angle. This is the angle they want us to calculate. Okay? So for us to find this angle, first we need to find this small angle and this other angle this side. Okay? So just add this angle plus this angle. As simple as that. So let's say we don't know this angle. Let's say this is X. Okay? Then let's say this one is, let's say, Y. Okay? This is X, this is what? Y. So in this case, for us to find this angle, what we're going to do is we're going to extend this north downwards. Right? Let us extend this northward downwards. So extending this north downwards, we're going to have a line like this. Have you seen? Yes. And to realize, I told you to say, under angles have got a property which states if you have got two parallel lines like this, if this line and this line are what? Are parallel. This line and this line are parallel. Then you have got, let's say, a transversal line like this. You have got a transversal line like this. Alternate angles are equal. If two parallel lines cut a transversal line, alternate angles are equal. Meaning this angle and this angles and this angle are what? Are equal. Okay? This angle and this angle are what? These two angles are what? These two angles are equal. Okay? And so in this case, look at this one. In our case, this is our P, this is our A. So you can say this is P, this is what? A. Okay? And then in this case, this is W, you have got W, then you have got this one is A. Okay? So these are the two lines in our situation. This line, have you seen? This line and this line are parallel. Then you have got a transversal line like this, okay? So we are saying alternate angles are equal, meaning this angle and this angle are equal. If this is X, this one is also what? It's X. Okay? So let us find this X. Let us find this X. Let us find this X, because we have got a situation like this. We have a situation like this. We have got this north, okay? Then you have got this line, okay, where W is. This is our W, okay? And you have got from this point to this point, it's what? It's 216. Have you seen? This one is 216. From this point to this point, it's 216, okay? So for us to know this angle, you're going to say 216 minus what? 108. Because we know that from this point to this point, it's 18. So this one is what? It's 18. This one is what? 18. So for us to know this remaining angle, this one, you say 260 minus what? Minus 18. So it's X. Let us find this one, X. This is our X. This is our X. So it's X is equal to 260 minus 108 minus 18. Everything. Then it says 6 minus 0, it's what? It's 6. Then 8 minus, 1 minus 8, it can to get 1 from this 2, you're going to make it 1. Then this one is what? It's 11. Okay? Then what we have is what? 11. This one is what? 11. So what is 11 minus 8? It's what? It's 3. So meaning this angle is 30. This angle is 36. This one is what? 36. So if this is 36, this one is also 36, because these two angles are alternate what? Angles. If this is 36. This one is also 36. So meaning this angle is what? This one is 36. Okay? Even this angle is what? 36. This is 36. And this is 30. Okay? Yes. Okay? Then we are also going to find this other angle. This other angle. Let us find this angle. Now, how do you find this angle? How do you find this angle? Okay? So you realize in this case, we have got if this is what? 50. This is 54. Take note. This is what? This is 54. Okay? This is 54. Now what we are going to do for us to find this angle, okay, we know that this is 36, of which we know that we have been told to say this shaded part, let me shade it, this one. We have been told it's what? 296. This angle of shaded, this part of shaded is what? It's 296, this one. So for us to know this y, we just say from 306, so that this entire angle is 300 and what? And 60. So from 300, we are going to subtract what? 296. Then the angle we are going to get is this angle. This is y. So let us find y. So you say y is equal to 360 minus 296. Okay, let us subtract. 0 minus 6, it can't get 1. You are going to remain with what? You are going to remain with 5. Then you add this 1 here, become 10. 10 minus 6, you get what? You get. So we are saying 15 minus 9 is what? 6. So you get 60. You get 64. Sorry for that one, 64. So this one is what? It's 64. So in this case, what you are going to do is, for us to know this angle now, this is the angle we want. Take note. This is the angle we want. So for us to know this entire angle, this angle, just add x plus y. You are going to have this angle. Because the person is saying calculate angle WPZ. So you say WPZ is equal to x plus y. What is our x? Our x is what? 36. So it's 36 plus 64, which is our y. What you get? You get what? 36 plus 64, you get what? 100 degrees. So this is our angle P, angle P, which is WPZ. This one, this is the angle you want. So the angle is what? 100 degrees. Right? Okay? Let us look at 2019 paper 1 GCE, a question on bearings. Okay? So the question is saying, the diagram below shows Mr. Moenda's trip. He travels on a bearing of 141 from A to B. He then decides to continue with his trip from B on a bearing of what? 255. That is to C. So this is what they are talking about. So you have got 255 and you have got 141. Okay? Then the question is saying, find the bearing of A from B. The first one, they want us to calculate the bearing of A from B. The bearing of A from B. Okay? Then the other one is saying calculate the bearing of A from C. Okay? Very, very good. So in this case, we're going to look at the first one, which is the bearing of what? A from B. So when they say A from B, A from B, where are we starting from? We are coming from, we are moving from B going to A. When they say A from B, what it means is we are moving from B going to what? Going to A. So in this case, we are moving at the north of B. We are moving at the north of what? B. This is the north of what? B. Going to A. So we are moving this direction, which is the clockwise direction, going to what? We are going to A. So up to A. This is the amount of turning they want, this bearing. Okay? That is A from B. Meaning we are moving from B going to A. Okay? Yes. So this is the bearing they want. Okay? This movement. This clockwise 10. Okay? This angle which is being formed. Okay? So in this case, for us to know the bearing of A from B, first and foremost, we need to know this angle. We need to know this angle. We need to know this angle. So let us find first this angle. This angle of shaded. This angle, we need to know this angle. So let's say this angle is, let's say X. We don't know this angle. This angle is X. Okay? We don't know this angle. This angle is what? It's X. So how do you find angle X? Okay? So since these two lines are parallel, this north and this north, we have got AN and BN. AN and BN, these two are parallel. We have got these lines. We have got this line AN, and we have got this other one which is BN. These two are parallel. Okay? So if these two lines are parallel, okay, then you have got this one which is a transversal line. Okay? AN and BN are parallel. Then you have got AB, which is a transversal to these two parallel lines. Okay? These two angles are called allied angles. These two angles are equal. Okay? So not they are equal, but they add up to 180. These two add up to what? 180. They are called allied angles. These two angles, the sum of these two angles is what? 180. So if this is Y, this is X. So you say, since these two add up to 180, you say X plus Y is equal to 180. Okay, I'm saying the line AN and the line BN, these two are parallel. Then the line AB is a transversal to these two parallel lines. And then these two angles, angle X and angle Y, these two are what we call allied angles. These two add up to 180. So in this case, we want to find X. In this case, what is our Y? Our Y is what? It's 141. Okay? And then we want X. We want this angle, which is the angle X. Because these two are what? Allied what? Angles. So for us to find X, you say X is equal to 180 minus Y. Okay? So you say X is equal to 180 minus, what is our Y? Our Y is what? 141. So minus 141 degrees. So X is equal to 180 minus 141, you get what? You get 39. Okay? So this one is 39. This angle is what? It's 30. We have got 39. This angle is what? This small angle is what? 39. Okay? So in this case, for us to know, it's now, this question is now is to answer because we know this angle. Okay? So we can find the bearing of what? A from B. This 10. You can find this what? This 10. This one is what? It's 39. Okay? So in this case, for us to find this angle, okay, this bearing, we're going first to find this angle is missing. Because this 255, it's from this point to this point. This is where 255 is ending. So our 255 is from this point to this point. So let us find this angle here. Okay? Let's say this angle is, let's say Z. Let us find this one. Okay? So for us to find Z, we are going to say, since we know that a complete 10 of a revolution add up to what? 360. So this one gives us a what? A 360. Okay? So what we are going to do is, for us to find Z, we are going to say Z is equal to 360 degrees minus 255 plus 39. Okay? Plus 39. Okay? Yes. Then you say Z is equal to 360 degrees minus 255 plus 39. What you get? This one you get 294 degrees. Okay. Then you say Z is equal to 360 degrees minus 294. What you get? You get 66. Okay, 66. So this one is what? 66. Z is what? 66. So this angle is what? 66 degrees. This one. Okay? Yes. Then in this case, what we are going to do is we can find now our bearing. This one. The bearing from this point to this point. Okay? Yes. So we know that from this point to this point, it's what? 255. Then this one is what? It's 66. So what we are going to do is we are going to add 255 5 plus 66. Okay, so bearing, say bearing of A from B, just add 255 plus 66. So you say 255 degrees plus 66 degrees. So just add, say 255 plus 66. What do you get? 6 plus 5 get 11. So write 1, then carry 1. Then in 6 plus 5 get 11 plus 1, you get 12. So write 2, carry 1. 1 plus 2 get what? 3. So the bearings are 321. The bearing of A from B is what? 321. So this is question A. Okay? Then let us look at question B. It's saying find the bearing of A from C. A from C. A from C. When they say A from C, A from C, what it means is we are moving from C going to what? Going to A. Okay? That's the meaning. So where is C? Where C is, we are going to come up with what to call a north. Okay? Where C is. So I got C here. Okay? Because this is where I'm coming from. So you come up with a north where C is. Okay? You come up with a north where C is. So this is our north where C is. Now going to what? We are going to A. So I need to move in a clockwise direction. Going to what? Going to A. Okay? So we are going to move in this direction. Going to what? This is the bearing they want. Because this is what? This is A. And you are moving from C. The north of C going to what? Going to A. Okay? So this is the bearing they want. This angle. This amount of what? 10. Now, we cannot know this angle. We cannot know this angle minus knowing this angle. We cannot know this angle minus knowing this angle. Okay? So what we are going to do is we are going to find this angle. This angle. Now for us to find this angle, we know that the sum of angles formed in a triangle add up to 180. So we have got this triangle, okay? We have got a triangle like this. Okay, a triangle like this. We know this is 35. Okay? And this is 66. Okay? This is C. This is A. And this is B. Okay? So this is what we want. We want this angle. Angle at what? Angle at A. So we want angle A. Let us find this angle A. So we say angle A. Okay, angle A is equal to 180 minus, what is our angle C? Minus 85 plus 60 plus 66. Okay, so we say angle A is equal to 180 minus 35 plus 66. What to get 101. Okay, so you see angle A is equal to, you subtract now 180 minus 101. Okay, so 0 minus 1, it can to get 1 from this side. From 8, you're going to make it 7. Then you put this one here, it becomes 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. Okay, then 7 minus 0 is what? 7. So you get 70. 79. So this angle is what? 79 degrees. This angle is what? 79 what? Degrees. Okay? So this is 79. This is 79. Okay? Yes. Now what we are going to do in this case is, this one is 141, sorry. This one is 141. From this point is 141. Okay? So what we are going to do is we are going to add from this point to this point, we are going to add 141 plus 79. Okay, let me write from this side. Okay, so let us find now this entire what? This entire angle. Okay, we're going to find this entire angle, of which you know that if we were to extend this one like this and go in a clockwise movement like this, okay, like this, we can still find this angle. Let me say this angle is angle. Let's say angle A. Let's say this is angle A. from this point to this point is angle A. Okay, let us find angle A, this one. Okay, so we're going to say angle A is equal to, we know that a complete circle revolution add up to what? It's add up to 360. This one should give us what? 360. So we're going to say 360 degrees minus, we are going to subtract what? 41 plus 79. Okay, so minus 141, sorry, 141 plus what? 79. Okay, so you add this, so you say A is equal to 360 minus, you add this 141 plus 79. You add this. Okay, what do you get? You say 1 plus 9 is what? 10, right? 0. Then carry what? Carry 1. Okay? Then you have got this one is what? 7. 7 plus 4, you get what? You get, is it what? You get what? 11 plus 1, you get what? 12. So 2 carry 1. 1 plus 1, you get what? 2, right? Mistakes, 2, right? So minus 2, 220 this side, right? So now, 3 minus 2, you get 1. So this angle A, it's what? T140. This one is what? T140. This one 140, right? Now, what we want is this bearing. This is what we want. This is the angle we want. Of which, remember, I said these two, if these two lines are what? Are parallel. This one is a transversal, so these two add up to 180. Same applies to this one. This line, line C, CN, and line AN. These two are parallel. Then you have got this line, which is line AC. This one is a transversal to these two parallel lines, right? Okay, so these two add up to 180. So for us to know this bearing, just say bearing, which is question B. The bearing is equal to, these two, we know they add up to what? 180. So you say 180 degrees minus 140. What do you get? You get 40 degrees. So you add the 0. So this is the what? The bearing. So this angle is what? 40 degrees. Okay? Okay? So now, let us look at 2020 paper 1, school certificate, a question on bearings. Okay? It's saying in the diagram below, the bearing of C from A is 160. Okay, so this is the ones they are talking about. The bearing of C from A, this is 160 degrees. Okay? Then the angle ACB is 30 degrees. Angle ACB, this is 30 degrees. Okay? And AB is equal to AC. The line AB is equal to AC. So these two are equal. Okay? So since these two are equal, this type of triangle is called an isosceles triangle. Since these two sides are equal. What is an isosceles triangle? We know an isosceles triangle is a triangle which has two sides equal. So this one is an isosceles triangle because it has these two sides which are what? Which are equal. And we know that the base angles of an isosceles triangle are what? Are equal. So since these two are equal, even these two interior angles are going to be equal. Since these two sides are equal, the sides are A, B, and the side AC. These two are equal. Even the interior angles are going to be equal. These two interior angles are going to be equal. So if this is 30 degrees, this one also becomes what? 30 degrees. Okay? Yes. So if this is 30, this is 30. Why? Because this triangle is an isosceles triangle, and there is a property which states the base angles of an isosceles triangle are what? Are equal. So if this is 30 and this is what? 30. Okay? Then the first question is saying find angle BAC. Find angle BAC. They want us to find this angle. Angle BAC. This is the angle they want us to find. This angle. Okay. This angle. This is the angle they want us to find. The angle BAC. So we know that the sum of angles in a triangle add up to 180. So for us to know this angle, we're going to say this angle, we're going to say B AC plus ABC plus angle ABC plus angle ACB plus angle ACB is equal to 108 degrees. Okay, so angle BAC, this is the angle we want, so we say BAC plus, what is the angle ABC? ABC is 30, so this is 30 degrees plus angle ACB is 30 as well, this one is 30 degrees, okay, is equal to 108 degrees. So it's a BAC plus 30 plus 30 to get 60 degrees is equal to 108. So you're going to correct like things, you're going to remain with BAC is equal to 180. When transpose positive 60, you're going to have a negative or minus 60 degrees. So BAC is equal to 180 minus 60, you get 120 degrees. So this is the answer for the first question. So question A, the angle BAC is equal to 120 degrees. Let us look at question B. It's saying find the bearing of A from C. The bearing of A from C. Question B. Bearing of A from C. So when they say A from C. A from C, it simply means we are moving from C going to what? Going to A. So the point where you are starting from, you come up with an imaginary true north, okay? You come up with what? An imaginary north, okay? So since we are starting from C, where C is, you're going to come up with an imaginary north. So we're going to say, we are going to have an imaginary north where C is, okay? So you say north, okay? Now we are moving from C going to what? Going to A, okay? So we're going to undergo a clockwise movement going to A from the north of C. Since C, that's the point where we're starting from, okay, going to A. We're going to start from the north of C. This is the north of C, going to point what? Point A. So we're going to move in this direction. We're going to move in this direction like this, okay. Very good. This is the bearing they want. This is the angle they want. This amount of turning, this is the bearing they want. Okay? So in this case, for us to know this amount of turning, we need to know this angle. Very, very important. We need to know this angle. Okay? We need to know this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle. We need to know this angle. Very, very important. So let's say this angle is, let's say X. Let us find X, this angle, okay? Just find this X, this angle of shaded. Okay? Let us find this angle. Okay? Now, if you have got two parallel lines, since we have got these lines which are parallel, this line and this line are parallel. This one you have got point A, and you have got this one north N. Then you have got point C, and you have got N. Okay? So these two lines, this line and this line are parallel. Then you have got AC, which is a transversal to these two parallel lines. Okay? So this line and this line are parallel. Then this one's got a transversal line, this line. Okay? So if you have got two parallel lines and a transversal line, these two angles, they add up to 180. These are called allied angles. They add up to what? 180. So if this is X, this is Y. You say X plus Y is equal to 180. Okay, these two angles, they add up to what? They add up to 180. So we can easily find X, this X. Okay? So in this case, this is X, this is Y. So let's say this is our Y, of which Y is 160. So this is 160. Okay? Let us find X, okay? Let's find this angle. So we say X plus, what is Y? 160 is equal to 180. So we say X is equal to 180. When transpose is positive, you're going to have a negative or minus 160. Okay? Then we say X is equal to 180 minus 160. You get what? You get 20 degrees. So this is 20 degrees. This one is what? It's 20. This one is what? 160. Okay? So this angle is what? 20 degrees. Okay, so we can easily now find this bearing, the bearing of A from C, this amount of turning, this unshaded part. We can easily find this angle. So we say bearing of what? Of A from C. A from C. You say, since we know that this entire angle, which forms a complete revolution, add up to what? 360. So you're going to say 360 degrees minus, you're going to remove this shaded part, because what we want is the unshaded, this amount of turning, the angle formed by the unshaded part, this one. Okay, yes, so we say minus this shaded part, which is x. So 360 minus x. So we say 360 degrees. What is our x? Our x is what? 20 degrees. So realize 360 minus 20 degrees, you get what? 340 degrees. That's the bearing of what? A from C. Okay? So now, let us look at another question from 2021 paper 1 on bearings. Okay? The question is saying, the diagram below shows 3 points, which are J, K, and L on level ground. Okay? So I've got this diagram showing the points J, K, L on level ground. Now, I've been told to say K is due east of J. K is due east of J. Then angle LJK is equal to 70. LJK is equal to 70 as given in the diagram. Okay, this angle LJK, this is 70 degrees. And the angle JKL, this is what? This is 30 degrees as given. Okay? Then you've been told to calculate. It's saying calculate the bearing of K from L. Calculate the bearing of K from L. Okay? That is question A. Question A, it's seeking for us to calculate the bearing of what? K from what? From L. So when they say K from L, we know that we're simply moving from point K going to point what? So from point what? Point L going to what? Point K. That is the bearing of what? K from L. It means we are moving from point L going to point what? Point K. That is the meaning. Okay? So in this case, remember I said to say, in this case, since we have been told to say, find the bearing of what? K from L. Meaning, we are starting from point L. Then we undergoing a clockwise movement, going to what? Going to K. So where L is, you come up with an imaginary north. So where L is, you come up with what? An imaginary what? North. Okay, you come up with an imaginary north where L is. Like this. Okay. Where L is. An imaginary what? North. Okay? Then, in this case, we cannot find this bearing, which is it? K from L minus knowing this angle. Okay? Minus knowing this what? This angle. Okay? And this angle. Okay? So what you're going to do is, since you have been told to say K is due east of J. K is due east of what? J. Meaning K is on the eastern part of what? J. Okay? J is on the western part of K, and K is on the eastern part of what? J. Okay? So what we're going to do is, since we have been told to say K is due east of what? J. Meaning there is a 90 degrees here. So I've got a 90 degrees. This one's supposed to be a 90. I've got a straight line. Okay? So when you come up with, let's say, a north like this, and a straight line like this. Okay? You come up with a straight line. It simply means the angle which is being formed here is what? It's 90 degrees. It's like we have a 90 degrees at this point. It's like we have got a 90 degrees angle which has been formed. Okay? Because this one is a straight line, which is a what? A horizontal line. Then you have got this vertical line. So therefore the angle which is going to be formed is going to be what? A 90 what? A 90 degrees. Okay? So meaning this angle and this angle are complementary, meaning they add up to what? 90 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to find this angle. Let's say this angle is what? It's x. Okay? So let's say this angle is what? X. This angle it's x. This angle is what? X. So for us to find x, we're going to say x is equal to 90 degrees minus 70. So x is equal to 90 minus 7 to get what? You get a 20. So this angle is what? It's 20. This one is what? It's 20. This one is 20 degrees. Okay? So these two are complemented. 70 plus 20 get 90 degrees. Okay? Yes. Now, the question is saying, remember, calculate the bearing of K from what? L. Bearing of K from L. Meaning you're moving from L going to what? Going to K. Going to what? K. So you need to know this angle. This is the angle they want. This movement. This is what they want. Okay? Yes. And they're going clockwise what? Movement. That is from the north of what? From the north of L going to what? Going to K. This is the angle they want. This is the angle they want. Okay? Now, for us to know this angle, we need to know this angle. Okay? Yes. Now, remember I said if you have got two parallel lines, you have got two parallel lines like this. Let's say this line and this line. These two lines are what? Are parallel. This line and this line are parallel lines. So this line and this line are what? Are parallel. Okay? Then you have got a transversal line like this. This is a transversal. Remember I said if you have got two parallel lines cutting a transversal line, alternate angles are what? Are equal. Meaning this angle and this angle are what? Are equal. Okay? These two are the alternate angles. Okay? These two are the alternate what? Angles. So in our case, you realize in our case this is J. Okay? This is Z. This is L. This is what? This is J. Okay? And then this is what? This one is what? L. So this is where L is. Okay? And we're saying this one is 20 degrees. So if this one is 20, this one is also what? It is also 20. Okay? So if this is 20, this angle is also what? Even this angle is what? It's 20 degrees. So we have got these two alternate angles. If this is 20, this angle as well is going to be what? It's going to be 20. Okay? So we have got 20 degrees, 70 degrees, and we have got 30 degrees. Okay? And the bearing in mind, it is this one. Okay? That is what? K from L. This bearing. Okay? We are moving from the north of L going to K. This is the angle they want. Now, how do you find this angle? So for us to find this angle, we know that the sum of angles in a triangle add up to what? 180. The sum of angles in a triangle add up to what? 180. So what we are going to do is, for us to know this bearing, okay? Let's say, we are going to say 70 degrees, this 70 degrees, okay, plus 30 degrees, this angle. Then it plus what? Plus 20 degrees, plus 20 degrees. Then it plus the bearing we want, plus the bearing, plus this bearing, okay? Plus the bearing, okay? Is equal to what? 180. Okay? So I'm just adding this angle in this triangle. This angle is what? 70. This is 70. Then 30 degrees. This angle, which is angle K. This is a 30. Okay? Then 20 degrees. This is a 20 degrees. Plus the bearing we want, which is this angle. Okay? It should give us what? 180. Okay? So it's a 70 plus 30, it's 100. Okay? 100 plus 20, you get what? 120 degrees. Plus the bearing is equal to 108. Okay? Then you say bearing is equal to 180. When transpose this positive on the other side, going to have a negative or minus 120. So bearing is equal to 180 minus 120 to get 60 degrees. So this is what? 60 degrees. Okay? So the first question we've answered 60 degrees. Now since it's a bearing, bearing are written in 3 figures, so we put a 0 this side. Okay, so it's going to be 0, 60 degrees. Okay, this is our answer. Let us answer the last one. Key question B. Calculate the bearing of J from L. J from L. So we are moving from L going to J. J from what? From L. So where L is, to come up with an imaginary node. So we are going to come up with an imaginary what? Node here. Let us see. Going to J and going a clockwise movement. We are going to move in this manner like this. Okay. This one. Okay. So this is the bearing they want. This is the angle they want. Okay. This is the angle they want. So this one is simple. For us to know this bearing, just say bearing is equal to, we know that this entire angle is equal to 360 times 360. Now out of 360, we have this 20. This one is what? This one is 20. Remember? This one is 20. So this one is 20. This one is what? 20 degrees. So out of 360, we are going to subtract this 20 to get this shaded part. So it's a 360 minus 20 degrees. What do you get? You get 0 minus 0 is 0. 6 minus 2 is what? 4. 3 minus 0 is what? 3. So 300 and what? 40. That is the bearing of what? J from what?